Hello! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's case will be a short one since I have to go to a dentist appointment again. This one is the first I'll be covering from Thailand. Sawadika! And I really knew nothing about this case until it was recently brought to light again by Netflix's Girl from Nowhere Season 2 in the episode Minnie and the Four Bodies. This is the case of Orachorn Praewa Thepasadin na Ayudhya. Advance apologies especially to our Thai viewers since I know I will be mispronouncing some words and names, so please bear with me. A quick disclaimer, this video is not meant to offend anyone, especially the families of the victims, and is done for educational purposes only. All of the information from this video was found from the internet and you can also find it when you do your own research. Orachorn Praewa Thepasadin na Ayudhya is the daughter from a wealthy Thai aristocratic family. The Thepasadin na Ayudhya clan consists of about 200 families, and the Na Ayudhya honorific only belongs to the descendants of Thai royalty or nobility. On the unfortunate night of December 27, 2010, Praewa, who was allegedly text driving without a license in her Honda Civic, rear-ended a passenger van containing students and staff from Bangkok's Thammasat University. Some sources say she was 16 or 17 at the time of the crash, and unfortunately, this resulted to the deaths of 9 people and wounded 6 others more. It is said the impact caused 8 people to be thrown from Bangkok's Don Muang Highway and they were immediately killed, while another one succumbed to their injuries later in the hospital. Praewa turned herself in at the Metropolitan Police Bureau headquarters in 2011. She was indicted and charged with driving without a license and reckless driving resulting to death in June 2011, and finally she is sentenced in August 2012. But you would not believe what she got. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison with 3 years suspended, but it was changed to a 3-year suspended jail term because she was considered helpful during the investigation. In short, she did not spend a single minute, not even seconds, in jail for partially causing the deaths of these 9 people. On April 22, 2014, the appeals court further reduced her sentence to 2-year suspended jail term and required Praewa to do community service for 48 hours annually for the next 4 years. This only worth 6 days of 8-hour shifts per year for 4 years. Oh, and she's also banned from driving until she's 25 years old. I mean, poor her, right? She was able to complete this community service requirement in 2016. Of course, this resulted to immense backlash from the Thai public, who believe she is getting special treatment for coming from a wealthy background and family. Netizens shared a photo of Praewa taken just moments after the crash, where she is seen calmly texting while leaning against a road barrier. I feel like for someone who was involved in a serious crash that resulted to deaths, I didn't feel like she was super agitated. This also gave rise to the social media hashtag PraewaKausop, which roughly translates to Praewa 9 bodies. Now here's the ironic part. In 2015, her family was ordered to pay 30 million baht to the families of the victims, but this is actually only 1/3 of the amount the families had requested. But in April 2017, Praewa's lawyer Thirawat Arunwong insistently pushed for lower compensation for the victims' families, and the total restitution was cut from 30 million baht to 19.8 million baht for the 9 families. Compensation was also due to be given to the families within 30 days, but none of them received anything until 2 months after the resolution of the case. Warunyo Kechu, a survivor from the crash, recalled how the lawyer even bargained for the victims' compensation like he was bargaining for vegetables and fish, even making the argument that Praewa was from the Thepasadin na Ayudhya family, which had done good for the country. Warunyo even posted a photo of the court files, as the lawyer's statement was actually in the said documents. I mean, if you're really wealthy, the least you could do is at least compensate the families fairly, right? Given that Praewa was not even the tiniest bit punished for the deaths of these 9 people who could have had bright futures. In 2019, the mother of Praewa, Ladawan Tepasadin na Ayudhya, promised that they would pay 24.76 million baht. I think this also covers the interest, and that the family would sell their land in the Pranburi district of Prachuap Kirikan in order to raise the needed money. Deputy Prime Minister Wisanu Kreyangam said that the assets of those convicted by the courts who try to avoid payment of the ordered compensation can be confiscated and auctioned off in order to produce the required amount. As for the aftermath, the father of one of the deceased victims, Trong Sudphenkit, suffered from depression and unfortunately died about a year after the crash. That's according to his wife, Suchada Palakul. Saran and Chuti Maningwan, the parents of another deceased victim, Sudawadi Ningwan, said that they were never contacted by Praewa nor her family since the tragedy. Praewa has also changed her name twice. First to Buabucha Devahastin na Ayudhya, then to Rawinpirom Arunwong. She also married former interim parliament member Sorawi Ratpitak Tirada in 2014, but her mother confirmed in a Channel 3 interview that they are now divorced. After the case, several high-profile and influential figures seemingly managed to avoid punishment for alleged crimes involving car crashes, such as actress Anna Reese, Red Bull Air Vorayuf boss Yuvidya, and businessman Jen Fop Veraporn. This story also appears to be the basis for a Girl from Nowhere Season 2 episode, Minnie and the Four Bodies. You should watch this episode, guys, especially to the fans of Girl from Nowhere, as this is probably the most gruesome episode of the series so far, and it also showed a different outcome. So that ends our true crime story for today. Let me know what you think about this case and if you think Praewa received the proper sentence. My heart goes out to all the victims of this senseless crash almost 11 years ago. Let's say even if Praewa was not solely responsible for the deaths of these 9 people, community service for 9 lives lost, I feel like it's a bit too light for me. I mean, some people get more years for dealing with. If you have case suggestions, please feel free to DM me on my Facebook account or here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Stay safe.